Top 10 Things to see in New York. Are you going to New York even for just one day? Even if you're staying in the Big Apple for just a few hours? These are the things you absolutely must see. Many symbols of New York are left out of this top 10, but having to make a selection, the choices fell on Postcard New York, which is also the one we like the most. 1. Statue of Liberty. Then in reality, it didn't go exactly like that. I arrived at 7 in the morning, also due to the time zone, and there was a crazy fog and you couldn't see anything from Battery Park. But as the hours passed and after taking the boat, I finally realized my dream. Also for this reason, in the itineraries, I suggest starting the visit of New York from the lower Manhattan area and from the statue in Ellis Island. It can't be New York without Lady Liberty. 2. One World Trade Center. Obviously, after what happened in that cursed September, after the Statue of Liberty, the area that most interested me was Ground Zero, which today we can finally call the World Trade Center again. When I first visited in 2008, the area was still a construction site, and there weren't the attractions that are there now, like the 9/11 Memorial, the 9/11 Museum, the One World Trade Center Observatory, and the beautiful new Oculus Station. 3. Empire State Building. Along with the Statue of Liberty, the Empire State Building is one of the most recognizable symbols of New York. Appeared and destroyed in many films, its observatories are a privileged point from which to admire the city. 4. Rockefeller Center. Although it is famous for the ice rink with the gilded bronze statue of Prometheus and the Christmas tree, Rockefeller Center is actually a city within a city, a complex of 19 buildings, most of which were built between 1930 and 1939. That includes television studios, theaters. Radio City Music Hall is located here. 5. Brooklyn Bridge. If I had to choose another symbol of New York to go alongside those already mentioned, it would certainly be the Brooklyn Bridge. If you go to New York, it is certainly impossible not to visit it. The emotions that it gives by walking through it, preferably with the view of Manhattan in front, will be unforgettable. A great idea is to rent a bike and go there and back. 6. Take a boat ride. You'll probably spend most of your time in New York in Manhattan, where you'll find many of the attractions in this top 10. Manhattan is an island surrounded by water, so taking a boat trip is always a great idea. From the river, you can admire the skyline and enjoy exceptional views of the Brooklyn Bridge and the Statue of Liberty. 7. Central Park. Central Park is the most famous green lung of New York and is one of those things that you absolutely have to do if you go to New York for the first, but also the second, third, and infinitesimal time that you return to the Big Apple. Also, because it will be impossible for you to visit it all, I suggest itineraries, but the best thing is to enter, walk, and not care about where you are going. 8. Times Square. As I wrote in the paragraph dedicated to the Statue of Liberty in my dreams, the first thing I visited was Lady Liberty. Instead, also thanks to the queue at the airport and my arrival in New York in the late afternoon, after leaving my bags at the hotel, I took the subway and got off at 42nd Street in Times Square. Unforgettable memories. Getting off the train, a crazy crowd going in every direction, and above all the escalators that slowly take you to street level, and finally seeing with your own eyes for the first time all those bright signs, like a movie. 9. Wall Street. Last but not least, a stroll through the most famous financial district in the world is a must. Furthermore, you visit a historical area not only for New York, but for the entire United States. In fact, in the Federal Hall, which is located right on Wall Street, George Washington was sworn in as the first president of the USA. 10. Soho, Manhattan. The neighborhood south of Houston Street, note that it is not pronounced like the Texan city, but Hey Houston, is in my opinion one of the most fascinating. Also known as the Cast Iron District, this is a must-visit destination for authentic New York City atmosphere and shopping. Learn more about Soho.